Iraqi Dinar Today, latest news. Imagine a moment that financial history books will mark as a critical turning point. A day when years of anticipation culminate in a cascade of official announcements. This is the scenario that currency holders of the Iraqi Dinar IQD and the Vietnamese Dong VND are consistently contemplating. The potential for a significant currency rate adjustment, often termed a revaluation or rate release, is a powerful motivator, driving investors globally to meticulously prepare for what could be an unprecedented financial event. The key question for everyone involved shifts from if such an event will occur to how one successfully navigates the logistical reality of the initial exchange process when the news finally breaks. That critical window of opportunity, the period immediately following an official rate change, will require swift, organized, and informed action to secure a conversion slot at a banking institution. The attention surrounding the IQD and VND is far from a fleeting trend. It represents a decade-long international focus on the economic futures of two developing yet strategically important nations. For years, vast numbers of individuals and groups have acquired and held these currencies, believing in the possibility of an eventual revaluation that aligns their face value more closely with the underlying economic potential of their respective countries. Beyond the sheer excitement and speculation, the foundation for any currency movement is rooted in comprehensive, verifiable national strategies. These are not sudden, impulsive decisions, but the culmination of long-term government reforms designed to modernize financial structures and enhance global economic integration. For both Iraq and Vietnam, the move toward a stronger, more internationally recognized currency is underpinned by deeply strategic domestic changes. In Iraq, the focus of the central bank has increasingly centered on systemic reform, moving beyond mere stability and towards full global inclusion within the financial community. This complex, multifaceted process is closely tied to Iraq's aspirations for full membership in global trade bodies, a benchmark that demands an entirely transparent, modern, and credible currency system. These requirements necessitate a profound overhaul of the national banking sector, including the implementation of advanced digital transaction capabilities, robust anti-fraud mechanisms, and internationally compliant settlement procedures. This push for global financial alignment is the very mechanism that lays the groundwork for full currency convertibility, a state where the Iraqi dinar can be freely traded and trusted by major financial institutions and international investors worldwide. The goal is to evolve the IQD from a largely isolated currency to one that is a standard participant in the global foreign exchange market. The statements coming from Baghdad's financial leadership consistently reinforce this commitment to modernization. These are essential, non-negotiable steps that must be completed to build the confidence required for any significant revaluation event to occur on a stable foundation. Concurrently, Vietnam's financial trajectory over the past decade has been equally compelling to international observers. The nation's economic resilience, marked by an explosive growth in the manufacturing sector and a rapidly expanding digital economy, has positioned it as a major player in Southeast Asia, drawing comparisons to other regional industrial powerhouses. Despite this formidable economic output, the Vietnamese Dong VND is viewed by many market analysts as currently undervalued. A major rate adjustment, supported by adequate foreign currency reserves and new global trade agreements, is broadly believed to be a logical step to reflect the nation's true fiscal strength on the world stage. Collectively, these two nations represent what many financial watchers term the Asian currency watch, a focus driven by the perceived disconnect between economic fundamentals and current exchange rates. While the enthusiasm surrounding a potential revaluation is understandable, the real world implications for every holder of IQD or VND rest entirely on the physical and digital logistics of the exchange process itself. This is where preparation transitions from optional to absolutely essential. The market's excitement must be balanced by a sober understanding of banking procedures and the necessary compliance steps. Understanding the concept of securing your exchange slot is paramount to successful conversion. When a major rate change is officially announced, authorized financial centers, banks, and foreign exchange counters will face an immediate, overwhelming surge in demand. Millions of currency holders may attempt to complete their transactions simultaneously. To manage this extraordinary volume while maintaining regulatory compliance, banks will almost certainly employ a strict appointment-based or scheduled time window system. Failing to be ready, without verified holdings, pre-set-up accounts, and a confirmed exchange location, will likely place an investor far down a potentially lengthy queue. Therefore, the ability to act swiftly, but with extreme organization and composure, is directly linked to the speed and efficiency of the transaction. A prepared individual will have their funds converted and deposited far faster than one who is scrambling for documentation or trying to open a new account in the wake of the news. This early readiness is not just about convenience. It could potentially influence the rate at which the funds are converted, as initial market fluctuations immediately following an announcement can be volatile. The logistical reality of a high-volume currency exchange dictates that banks must adhere to rigorous regulatory frameworks, particularly those mandated by anti-money laundering AML laws. This means simply walking into a bank with stacks of currency will not suffice. An official exchange will require a scheduled appointment, mandatory identity verification, and documented proof of the legitimate ownership and origin of the currency notes. This is a fundamental safeguard of the international banking system, and all investors must be prepared to fully comply with these stringent requirements. In many instances, the physical currency will need to undergo a thorough authentication process. This often involves checking the notes under ultraviolet light, scanning serial numbers, and validating them against central bank systems to confirm their authenticity and legality. Once this verification and approval are complete, the funds will not be dispensed as physical cash. Instead, the converted value will be processed as an electronic deposit, instantly or near instantly credited to the investor's designated, compliant bank account. This seamless digital transfer underscores the importance of a pre-established, capable banking relationship. A common misconception is the expectation of instant, universal access to the new rate immediately upon announcement. While the goal is speed, the process can encounter delays, primarily when the exchange systems are overwhelmed by high volume or when a bank requires additional identity or currency verification. The most proactive way to mitigate these potential delays is through advance account setup. Having a fully compliant bank account, already capable of handling large foreign currency transactions, streamlines the process significantly, ensuring that the conversion can proceed without the friction of a rushed last-minute setup. The mechanism of an exchange slot is not a speculative theory, but a proven procedure for managing unprecedented demand in a regulated industry. Financial institutions, in anticipation of a high-volume event, may establish digital booking platforms where customers reserve a specific time for their conversion. Furthermore, some banks might implement prioritization protocols, offering earlier slots to established, high-status customers or those who registered their holdings in advance. Contacting your current financial institution now to understand their policies for handling IQD or VND conversions is an indispensable preparatory step. Given the advanced state of modern banking, particularly in 2025, many initial exchange processes could be initiated through secure online or mobile banking applications. Customers might be able to schedule their conversion and submit preliminary documentation digitally. However, relying purely on assumptions is a risk. Investors must confirm the specific procedure with their bank and not simply assume their institution's digital platform is ready to handle such a high-stakes, high-value transaction. Direct communication and confirmation are the only sure routes to readiness. Security, both of physical assets and digital information, must be the absolute priority in the run-up to and immediately following a rate adjustment. Major financial events are unfortunately magnet for fraudulent activity, drawing in scammers who create fake exchange centers or send sophisticated phishing emails promising exclusive rates. Currency should never be handed over outside of a verified, established financial institution. Investors must restrict their trust to official, authenticated communication channels from their bank and the central banks of Iraq and Vietnam. It is imperative to maintain vigilance. Legitimate banks will never solicit personal details, account passwords, or deposits via unsolicited messages or social media. Protecting assets during this financial transition demands skepticism and adherence to verification protocols. Always check official websites and, if in doubt, call your bank's main published number. Trust should be reserved solely for verified sources and professional, authorized representatives of recognized financial institutions. Another significant aspect to manage is the phasing of the rollout. The belief that all exchanges will occur instantaneously across all continents may be unrealistic. System updates, global liquidity management, and international banking coordination are complex operations that take time. It is entirely possible that certain financial regions or countries will go live with the new rates before others. This sequential rollout is a normal part of large-scale financial transitions, meaning patience will be a necessary virtue even after the initial announcement is made. If an investor is situated in a region with extremely high demand, the exchange processing time may extend from minutes to hours, or potentially even days, to fully complete. This should not be a cause for alarm or panic. The decisive factor remains securing the appointment or slot early. A calm, well-prepared approach, focused on proper documentation and verified procedures, almost always yields better results than a panicked, last-minute scramble. The preparation process should begin immediately with a thorough audit of all currency holdings. Notes should be stored in a safe, dry, and secure environment. Detailed records, including photocopies and documented serial numbers, must be maintained for all notes. Following this, investors need to proactively identify which reputable banks or exchange centers in their local area currently handle foreign currencies and, specifically, whether they anticipate handling IQD or VND post-announcement. When contacting these institutions, the key is to inquire about the exact documentation required for a conversion. Typically, this will include a government-issued photo ID, proof of residential address, and potentially a currency verification certificate or similar provenance document. While these steps may seem routine, having these materials compiled, copied, and organized before the event will save an enormous amount of time and stress when the critical moment arrives. In the dynamic period immediately following a rate release, the initial exchange values are susceptible to rapid fluctuations driven by the sudden interplay of global supply and demand. Just as with an initial public offering IPO on a stock market, the first hours of trading can experience brief but dramatic surges or corrections. Investors who are ready to act with a predetermined, rational plan may be able to secure a potentially more favorable rate than those who delay. The critical takeaway is the need to have a judgment-free, planned course of action that mitigates the risk of emotional or impulsive decision-making. Crucially, the financial results of exchanging foreign currency may be classified as taxable income, depending on the laws of the investor's country of residence. This is a vital and often overlooked aspect of preparation. Prior to executing any large-scale exchange, consulting a qualified tax professional or certified financial advisor is mandatory. They can provide essential guidance on necessary documentation, receipts, and reporting obligations to ensure full compliance and avoid surprise tax liabilities months after the fact. Experienced investors recommend establishing a dedicated physical and digital folder for all exchange-related paperwork. This secure collection should include initial purchase receipts, rate confirmations, transaction records, and all bank correspondence. This meticulous organization is not merely a formality. It is a fundamental financial protective measure that proves the legitimacy and history of the assets. The excitement of a potential financial gain should never overshadow the discipline required to handle the matter responsibly and legally. It is important to maintain a balanced perspective on any highly anticipated financial event, recognizing that every scenario carries both risk and potential reward. While some investors may experience substantial positive outcomes, others might not realize the same results due to myriad variables, including market timing, rate shifts, and fees. Expectations must remain grounded in factual information and a disciplined approach, eschewing speculative rumors or emotionally charged online commentary. Informed, patient, and methodical investors consistently navigate complex events more successfully than those who are impulsive. Finally, the narrative surrounding these currencies is also a story of national renaissance. Iraq's persistent effort to transition from years of conflict towards economic stability and modernization is a powerful testament to national resilience. Similarly, Vietnam's evolution into a global manufacturing and digital hub underscores a commitment to sustained progress. Investing in these currencies, in an abstract sense, is a participation in the potential of their systems and people. This long-term view helps to frame the focus away from short-term speculation and toward the underlying transformation that is shaping their lasting currency strength. For those who have previously exchanged currency for travel, the basic process is familiar, but the scale of a potential rate release event is exponentially larger, impacting international banking networks, global exchange markets, and liquidity management. This magnitude is why banks are already engaged in long-term preparatory steps, testing systems, aligning with global regulators, and training personnel. For the individual investor, this confirms the need for preparation to begin now, well in advance of the news, ensuring a smooth and rapid transaction when the opportunity finally presents itself. The future of currency exchange is overwhelmingly digital. Once the IQD or VND is converted, the final confirmation and immediate access to the funds will occur electronically, typically through a pre-existing, fully functional digital banking dashboard or mobile application. Setting up these digital accounts, enabling notifications, and verifying security settings and transfer limits ahead of time can eliminate the longest potential delay in the entire process. The final phase of this journey will be navigated not with paper notes, but with the secure, instant transfer of digital value. Do not overlook the crucial element of personal mindset. When an event of this magnitude unfolds, emotions can easily spiral, leading to fear, excessive excitement, or impatience, all of which can compromise sound judgment. Approach this event with the same calm, rational diligence you would apply to any major life decision. The most successful participants are not those who are the fastest, but those who are the most disciplined, acting with confidence that comes from methodical preparation, rather than reacting in chaos. As this critical time approaches, one simple truth remains immutable. Opportunity inherently favors the prepared. Regardless of whether the official rate announcement is tomorrow, next month, or later in 2026, your immediate readiness dictates your eventual outcome. Utilize the current window to finalize your organization, verify all documentation, and solidify your action plan. Waiting for the final, official confirmation before taking smart, preparatory actions is a delay you cannot afford. In these defining moments, time accelerates, and the prepared will always move faster than the reactive. In conclusion, windows of monumental financial opportunity are, by their very nature, fleeting. Historical precedent consistently shows that the initial hours and days following a major currency adjustment are when the most critical logistical and transactional groundwork is laid. Your goal is to be fully prepared when that definitive notification arrives. Stay vigilant, maintain a high level of organization, and remain absolutely calm. This may prove to be one of the most significant financial moments in your lifetime. Do not risk missing your chance. Take decisive action now to secure your IQD and VND exchange slot before that window closes.